Hey guys, Tim Walden, and we are going to take you into some video as our topic today is on the establishing portrait. Now, it's just a quick review. When we do a relationship portrait, we do three different things. We do an establishing portrait, which is a beautiful, kind of classic, traditional sometimes you might say, although I'm not crazy about that word, but it may have fit at times. Portrait of the family, everybody kind of looking toward the camera, or at least a portrait with everybody in the family, in the image, so that you can build your abbreviations around it. So what we did, we brought in a family and we just decided, you know what, let's just push ourselves here, and we're going to bring in a 4-month-old baby. So don't you ever tell me I chicken out, because I don't do it. So we have a 4-month-old baby, as you can see, mom, dad, and little daughter named Lily. So we're going to take you in and out of some clips and some images and walk you through the creation of establishing portrait. Now, I want to tell you, as we talk about this, it's going to be different with each subject. There's no there's no blanket regular way that you just say here's the 3 poses or whatever. You can have a baby this age, lay them back, and it can be beautiful. You can have a baby this age, lay them back, and they go crazy. They don't want to be laid back. They want to be held up. You can turn them one way and they're cranky, turn them another and they're cranky, and dad picks them up and they're fine. You just never know. So you kind of have to roll with the punches. And so we did this on the fly. And so we're going to just share some of those clips with you. But I want to start by showing you my vision and telling you a little bit about it as we kick off this video on establishing portraits. The first thing I do, and you're going to see just a short video clip where I describe to Beverly what my idea is for this family. The first thing I do is, in my mind's eye, I see the finished portrait. I see what it's going to look like. I lay that finished portrait, all the poses, the lighting, everything in my mind's eye. And this is really close to what my original vision was. I actually had the vision for mom and dad in a certain place, the little girl in a certain place, and the baby in a certain place. And I want to show you the video as I describe it to Bev, because I think it's important that as you begin to execute these images, that before people show up, you take a deep breath, you take a few minutes, you set your props that you're going to need, and I'm not a fan of props, but I use props to get people seated or heights differently, and you have a working plan to get off and running. It'll morph a little bit, but it'll help you so much I think in being confident and having a direction. So let's take a quick look at what my vision was for this particular family portrait. Use this for her right foot. Baby comes off here, baby. And then little one kind of leans in here and dad in the back. Something like, kind of build it around that. Mom needs to be barefoot, and we'll be off and running. It's warm in here because we warmed it up for baby. All right, so you see, it just took a couple of minutes to describe, but I didn't do that for you. I do that for every single session. A lot of times I'll describe it to myself. I do talk to myself sometimes. I'll put things here. I'll say, okay, I can see this person here, this person here. Or if Bev or somebody's in the room, an assistant, I'll say, here's what I'm thinking we're going to do. So you got the idea. Now, when they came through the door and dad was holding the baby like you see here, he was doing that, so it just looked so cool. I thought, okay, I'm going to abandon that side of it. Why mess with that? When you're doing real young toddlers or babies, things like that, where they can be volatile, why mess with what's already going on, So when dad walked in, he actually was carrying that baby like that. I said, perfect. So the only thing I really abandoned from my original vision was I decided to keep baby square and dad's shoulders, square dad's shoulders up. Everything else, I decided I'm going to do it exactly like I had in mind. Now, you're constantly working in this shoot, fix. I call it capture, adjust, refine. Now, because this is a teaching 3-year course, I want to make sure that I just don't put in, like the half a dozen favorite images or great images. I'm going to show you images that aren't as good as the best ones. I'm going to show you some that have some problems that I got fixed. But that's the goal here, is to walk you through that process. So this is the very first image, like right out of the bat. We got dad holding the baby, mom's foot up, mom barefoot. I love that look. Got beautiful triangular composition. Had our little girl down, so you can see how our heights are varying real nice. I had a little bit of issue because I didn't have an assistant. Bev was filming, getting baby's expression, or looking at me anyway. But actually, I think you're going to see it worked out pretty darn good when it was all said and done, because you have to be tenacious. That's one thing I can tell you, is I am tenacious. I mean, I have people in the camera room and they say, "Aren't you done yet?" No, I'm not done yet. I will not quit until I know that I'm comfortable with what I got. So I think that's a skill that I don't need to teach you a technique. That's just roll up your sleeves. I'm going to get this done. So sometimes with babies or toddlers or young children, you got to be that way. Nothing eliminates that. But you can see right here, first thing out, it's a nice image. But it was driving me crazy. The little girl's hand was dropping behind mom's foot, and it just felt like it was cut off, like it was gone. And I didn't like it. But here's the thing: capture, adjust, refine. Capture, adjust, refine. If you've got young children and you're doing a looser style of photography, you try to perfect everything, you can get to the point you don't get any images. Now you get everything perfected, but the baby goes nuts, or the little girl gets upset, or whatever happens. So you got to use a little balance and wisdom. That's one of the things I love and hate about this industry, is we're always juggling. But so anyway, so I see this image, I'm beginning to shoot. I see this little girl's hand kind of disappearing after I, get started. So I tell her, I say, "Listen, what I need you to do is put your hand in your lap." Well, she stuck it in her lap, but through the dress, it ended up being kind of the same way, as you can see here. So, but I didn't correct her, I didn't chastise her, I didn't say, "No, that's not what I meant." I just continue to shoot, and I'm watching mom, I'm watching dad, I'm watching the baby. This also needs to be a wonderful experience for every one of them. And little Lily, I don't know how old she is, 8, 9, 10 years old, she needs to have a good time. So I don't want to say, "No, that's not what I mean," So I just kind of, I let it morph. Sometimes I'll go up and fix it. And I think in this case, after I shot a few images, we're at capture, adjust, working our way to refine, I actually walked up and I made the correction. Now I'm liking this image a whole lot better. I love mom's diagonal lines from her arms. I love the composition. Everybody's hands are in place. Dad's hanging on the baby. It's looking real good. So now, other than the baby being in dad's arms, which that was dictated by what I saw when he walks in, you have to be hyper alert. What do you see? And if you see something that looks amazing, don't change it because, well, that wasn't my vision. See how it can morph or work into your vision, and you'll be surprised at how that balance between your ideas and what you see happening in front of you can make a great, great image. So this is really my vision. Here's what I think is a wonderful, kind of an establishing portrait of this family. Everybody looks good. Everybody's looking in the camera. These are what we call the anchor images that anchor a grouping. You can see everybody's face. These are the ones I talk about. They stay with mom and dad from now on. They own them.